only lost by one time, and it was to complexity of all teams in overtime. Actually, it was, I think, triple overtime. So it's not exactly crazy to think that they could pick up a win here, especially when you look at their pedigree, beating Cloud9, Immortals, Dignitas, Sentinels, and Equinox in recent history. We'll see if that's going to in fact be the case. They're desperately going to need Skadoodle to wake up and shake off that first game. It wasn't the worst performance we've ever seen, but it wasn't ideal. And here's FaZe doing what FaZe does. That aggressive style of play. This time they do get caught, though, as it looks like T1 has done their homework and was prepared with the camera in place just in case that was the fact.
You already had them at spawn too, right? You saw Skadoodle and Brax at the spawn, not leaving that area, trying to surprise them by giving them market for FaZe, and then they could maybe battle it back. But FaZe had 3 players push down Hookah with frenzies ready to go. So like I said, if they're not being battled, if they don't have any pressure onto Hookah, they're okay with pushing all the way down and trying to go for the flank. And with that, though, that camera forced them back, forced them out of position, and look at how passively they're playing now, which allows T1 to take control of Hookah, and they're going to try to explode into the site now.
Here they go out onto the site. Corey's nade does enough damage to take out Spyder. Skadoodle with the quick shots coming out from the Classic has to be careful as BABYBAY was still on site with a frenzy. So the Boombot's going back and forth, patrolling the area, looking for targets, not going to find
30
any.
seconds left.
Dazed inside Hookah, working with Brax as well. And it's come down to the 2-on-2. You see Marved is slowly sneaking in. The classic burst, not exactly what Brax needed in that moment. The shadow step allows Marved to get away, and Rawkus chimes in with the final kill. FaZe picks up the pistol and can try to continue where they left off in map number 1. And it was a team ace.
Yeah, definitely give it to Corey, the way that he was able to dance behind the cloudburst that was set by Skadoodle. The idea there, cloudburst, dash in from Hookah, and try to fight it back, but as you couldn't connect onto the kills, Corey was just dancing around and able to get the kill onto Spyder too, and just waste the time to allow his teammates to rotate over. And not only that, the person that was stuck inside Elbow just stuck his ground there. He just wanted to keep Brax busy into Hookah so that it was easier for Marv to make it out of spawn, and then to get the kill. And actually, sorry, it was DaZeD that was in Hookah, so they kept them close and tight in there too. So FaZe Clan just played that nice.
T1 working with some pistols. And there's the Owl drone looking to spot Brax. Brax is going to hide in this corner and hope. Yeah, that's not going to happen. The dart doesn't come through, but the position's spotted out regardless. Brax is down to 8 HP as he tries to escape. BABYBAY says no, that's not happening. BABYBAY getting close to that portal. He's playing off the portal, so if he has to, he can dive through. There you go. Dash across. Great movement from BABYBAY, but the spike is still moving towards A. You can see there was a player out on site. It was Spyder who tried to escape the showers. DaZeD is on the other side of a dark cover, watching burst after burst go into the wall, but dodging the damage for the time being.
Just unfortunate for Brax in his position. He was really counting on AZK to try to break that Owl drone. You saw the amount of times that was shot but not broken. And speaking about shot, there's someone that got shocked.
30 seconds left.
And that was courtesy of DaZeD. They aren't able to make it into the site. You have to try to shadow step through, but you kind of wish it was DaZeD that had that spike to try to at least put some credits into the bank for T1, but it does not happen as FaZe Clan puts 2 rounds in a row.
Here comes the buy from T1, though. Look at the purchase on the other end. SMGs. Pretty much across the board. Corey's the only one who's rocking a Vandal. I will say, even though I like a Raze here versus a Reyna, I feel like that's a better play. I do miss Corey on the Reyna. I feel like it's something that Corey plays really well, and it's kind of funny to watch Reyna now sneaking into competitive play, because I'd say, like, what, the week after Reyna's release, everyone was like, okay, that's enough. Like, there really wasn't anyone that cared to see it played, but we've seen Reyna slip its way into competitive meta, as has often been the case with some of the agents in the game. Even like Jett in the early stages when we were all kind of mocking Jett's usefulness. A large part of that was some changes that came through from Riot, but still. The 5-on-4 FaZe do have a player advantage. No Cypher currently alive, and now they lose their Jett. Skadoodle currently sitting in purgatory, waiting for the round to end. DaZeD does at least pick off one, but BABYBAY is there with a double up on the response. That's 3 now on the round for BABYBAY. Spyder all alone. Spike is down in possession of BABYBAY, who wanted to go for an even more impressive 4K. Couldn't quite finish off Spyder, who's now sitting on low HP. But it's a 1-on-3 with 30 seconds left. Not really many options here for Spyder.
That's it. Rawkus picks up the last kill quite easily. Even on top of that, you had the flank coming in from Marved eventually. So the pressure to fight back for FaZe. BABYBAY continued to press charge, press forward. Like, how ballsy is that to just continue to run forward and pick up a gun in a cloud burst when there's enemies just around the corner and still manage to fall back and add another kill to the tally later on that fountain side. So I think right now FaZe is one of those strats where it's, hey, let's just activate BABYBAY. Kind of like saying, Sean, go kill for Gen G. Tens, go kill for Gen G. BABYBAY, go kill for FaZe. And he's getting the job done. Yep.
Pick off coming in from BABYBAY. Like you mentioned, BABYBAY now hunting down the ace, and you know he wants it. Gets caught off guard. Doesn't matter. That's 4 now on the round for BABYBAY, who's looking for the eco round ace. Can't quite get it. Spyder says, no, I'm not letting this happen. Now, this is exactly the start we saw from FaZe in map 1. We saw this quick start, and it was a lot of aggression coming in from FaZe. Now, obviously, the sides were flipped. FaZe was on the attack, playing fast and catching T1 off guard, but the point remains the same.
It does remain the same, but now he has the operator, so that's going to change the playstyle for BABYBAY, but it's still not going to make things easier for T1. You've seen how good it has been on that operator today, and for T1, the amount of times that are trying to add pressure towards the fountain or towards B, it's not paying off because they're just getting picked. They're going to try their hand back towards A. And Marv goes for a smoke and hides on top of it with a dark cover. The Owl drone at least is going to spawn him, so they're going to try to spray it out. But there's going to be a counter to come through, and a Hunter's Fury to come out, and it's still going to be Brax that gets the kill. No more tags, but it's still map advantage, or should I say map control for T1 as they make it into the site and go for the plant. While the retake is attempted, they still have the hat to come out too. They are now spotted towards U-Haul. Brax is going to try to press forward, but Rawkus slowly is going to even things up, and we'll see if they could work it back. What do they have right now? They have the Owl drone from Rawkus inside U. They could still use that. They have the powerful operator to go for the trade, and it works out. The advantage swings back in favor of FaZe. BABYBAY gets another one and goes for another kill. What is going on with this man?
He's feeling it. I mean, this is what we saw in map 1. It's almost verbatim. BABYBAY popping off early on. And even though BABYBAY still continued with a very strong stat line, it wasn't anything like this. This is actually a little bit of a step above. 1, they're now up 5-0, so they're winning by even more of a margin than they were before. And 2, BABYBAY has 12 kills. 12 and 3 in 5 rounds. That's an absurd stat line currently, and it's making things quite difficult for T1. Yet again, BABYBAY 2 is gonna be that entry killing machine. He's finding all of those opening kills round after round here.
Cover going up.
T1, we talked about how well they play when they play this map. They're gonna have to unlock some inner potential, and that might be exactly what they need. DaZeD and Brax both combine and give themselves a 5-on-3, and the spike will go down on the A site.
So the other members of FaZe Clan trying to do a little bit of BABYBAY, but it doesn't pay off for them. So that opens up the site. They are able to get the plant. BABYBAY's still alive though. And with this rotation, you still have the paint shells. A big flame from Corey. But that's only for a 1 kill as he's traded off by Spyder. BABYBAY still, as he's feeling himself, he doesn't care. He's going to try to go for this. Spyder is so far his kryptonite. He's been the one that's able to stop the reign of BABYBAY. That's 3 kills in this matchup, on this map actually, Spyder is able to win versus BABYBAY. So I think now you're going to have to try to have that matchup for T1. As a caller for DaZeD, I think it's like, okay, let's figure out where BABYBAY is playing. Now still probably with the operator into this round. Spyder, we need to try to nullify his positioning. And I think that would probably be one of the keys to try to bring T1 back into this one.
Just looking back at the stats here for T1, the attacking side has always been their bread and butter. In fact, it looks like they haven't lost an attacking side half in the last couple of matches they've played through in the closed qualifiers for both UMG and Nerd Street Gamers. Marved waiting around the corner. Here's that showstopper pop. But it's Brax who's on the site, who's proving to be a nuisance. 3-on-2, and again, the A site's been lost.
Spike planted.
FaZe Clan's sprint at the start of this half may have ended already as T1 looks to grab another round. There's the showstopper being pulled from Corey. Quick flick back with the rocket, dodges the shot from DaZeD. And now Corey ends up on top of the APC. Dart not going to connect onto Corey, who's now going to change positions, looking for the remaining targets. And sticks the spike to at least get it halfway. Goes for the pull-off, and it's a double peek. Wouldn't have made a difference which direction he looks. T1 win 2 in a row, and they still have a chance to take that lead at half. They're going to have to win them all.
Yep.
I mean, that is crazy.
Was, again,
like Cloud9, Immortals, Dignitas, Sentinels, Equinox, even the game against Complexity. On the attacking side, they always won the half. Never tied, never came below that line.
So it's an indication of how things are kind of changing a little bit here in this matchup. They really have to step up for T1. And Skadoodle, again, he's the first one that gets nullified by BABYBAY, but it's still going to be Spyder that is that silver lining for the team. To be able to get that opening, and you saw how explosive that was, and there you go. Spyder, another opening, 2 kills, including BABYBAY on top of that. Yes, of course, FaZe is on an eco, but who cares? As T1, you don't care if they're on guns, no guns, knives. You just want to bring this game back in your favor. So to be able to have somebody like Spyder continue to get these openings and be crisp on his shots.
Spike planted.
Speaking of crisp, that's one way to answer. But at least to get a spike plant for T1. And you'll still have FaZe kind of looking to upgrade for some weapons. And with that last kill that just happened from Brax, I think these last 2 players will attempt to save.
Where is it?
Okay, maybe not. Marv gets a kill. He gets another one as he drops inside the window. They're looking for the ult. Did he spot the last one? It's going to be Brax. He does get the wallbang, but the defuse is coming through, and they actually get it. ZachaREEE gets the full defuse. Cannot get the kill. Finally, he does for Brax, but man, on an eco that came through for FaZe Clan, it was still a victory in the end. I spoke too soon. I jinxed it. Caster's curse.
Well, what ends up happening is T1 now have at best a tie score at half if they can somehow find a way to close things out. But with the way this team has been playing, I'm not sure how that's possible. BABYBAY cooled off a little bit the last few rounds, but still sitting at an impressive 13-6 as we move into round number 9. And it looks like we have a pause coming in. Skadoodle's not moving. So they got it in just in the nick of time. I'm going to assume this is technical in nature. He's back in the game. He's swinging his knife, but not really sure what exactly is going on. So we'll get that fixed in a moment. The pause came through literally as the blue barriers go down, but they can't walk through them. So in case you're thinking they can like roam the map right now, that's not possible.
So I'll take that time as I was trying to figure out. It seems as though maybe it's DaZeD that has the issue because he hasn't bought yet. But on that previous round before the action happened and the eco came in for FaZe Clan, I was going to say like the way that T1, the previous round, was able to execute into the A side, it was off Spyder's revenge kill onto BABYBAY, but also as soon as he died, you saw how immediate the trade came in from short A. So T1 did a very good job to set up a push where they could go for these immediate trades and eventually take over that site. He leaving it on a 2 versus 1, losing players in the process on a pulse plan situation. If you still have that one-man advantage in the end, you've had made a successful attempt, a successful push, into your spike plant. So T1, they needed to get that 2 in a row, but FaZe Corey inside that hookah, his playground, to be able to answer back onto Spyder. And for me, when I thought that it was over after those 2 guns that were picked up with a spike plant and a dark cover that came out towards hookah, Marv was able to open it up on his own. And turnaround over for FaZe. I don't think it should have been a round that T1 should have lost after the post plant.
Still waiting on a resolution for the technical issue, so we'll be jumping into things in just a second. As soon as DaZeD fixes his computer, you know how boomers are. They just which wires which? Where does this go?
Hey man, I know which wires
plug
which.
in his floppy drive right now.
I've been playing a lot of Among Us. I know how to cross the wires.
So we'll be jumping into that action shortly. I do want to say this. If this follows the pattern of the last map, what we'll notice in general is T1 adjust to the pace that FaZe is setting early on and try and equalize. So if this continues in similar fashion, we should have a very close game, even though right now it doesn't look like that's likely.
Well, yeah. The thing is for me is, how do you really stop the pacing of BABYBAY when you still kind of have to guess which areas he's rushing as when he doesn't have that operator, right? If they get into a situation here where FaZe is going to lose a round, they're going to be on a mixed buy or some sort of an eco, BABYBAY, which way is he going to go? And from the way that he's shooting, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got a Blade Storm into the next round if they lose and have to go on an eco. So the amount of times that he ran down towards long B, he got a 4K out of that one. Then down towards the hookah side, he was able to get to some big rounds as well. I don't know how the hell you stop this guy. Spyder is the only solution, but you can only guess where BABYBAY is going, like, onto 4 different areas. So you have 25% of chances to be right and to put Spyder at the right spot to try to kill him. So I think now try to utilize those cameras in the beginning too, right? The trap wires at the front to try to prevent those early pushes, put the cameras on different extremities, and then have somebody like Spyder try to work that control. When I said that they were successful and how it was different on T1 on their attacker side was, for example, the combination that they had of clearing out the showers so that any type of aggressive opping side that came in from their opponents on that end was fully nullified, and that allowed them to go for that explosive push into the A side. But this round, it seems to be B.
It's always awkward when you have a 1-second pause and then play resumes because you don't see the walls fall. It's just like the round just starts. But here we go. The Owl drones will pass each other. A little bit of drone racing over on the site. Skadoodle, who's currently off to a rough start in the series and this map more specifically, leading off the push for T1. A target right to the left. Oh, Rawkus has him right where he wants him. Oh, we got a little scary there for a second. There was an opportunity, but Rawkus plays that one patiently, has to double back on the initial damage dealt. And that is a flawless round win from FaZe, where they just stomped out T1.
The kills came fast as the barriers went down pretty much when they tried to enter the site. Not clearing your corners, unfortunately, allowing ZachaREEE to get a 3K on top of that, surprising your opponents. That's not a good look there for that push. And I thought that it was going to be, with them splitting towards B, they had the Hunter's Fury ready for DaZeD, and someone like DaZeD or someone like Gangsta really likes to go up towards that B side and just launch the Hunter's Fury inside elbow to surprise your opponent. But instead, they went for the Owl drones. They gave a chance for FaZe Clan to really just set up on any type of push that they had. And again, not clearing your angles is probably the detriment of that round.
Well, yet again, you see the aggression from FaZe. You've already got 2 players pushed through from B, but T1's on the A side, or at least trying to take control of it. Now, BABYBAY getting aggressive with that op and showers, picks off Spyder. We talked about how important Spyder can be for this
I know exactly
T1 roster.
where you are.
BABYBAY likely wanted to play with that smoke, but realizes after the neural theft comes through, it's an illogical decision.
Enemy tag.
Al Drone will put a dart into the planter, giving away his position. And, oh, okay. That's the planter going down. The nade came out.
No.
It was a fade away from Corey. I think he threw the nade and they started to rotate, expecting that they might try to take Portal. You can see them actually backing off the play. But the nade gets the kill on the spike planter. They now have to recommit to that site. Brax is right around the corner, takes a shot through the wall from BABYBAY. He's down to 57 HP. This man just does not miss currently. Now that's going to be difficult because he's low on health. Brax is sneaking away inside the showers, tries to peek back, and it all falls down to the 1v1. It's going to be Corey versus DaZeD. Another nade coming out from Corey as the paint shells pop. Tapping the spike, knows exactly where DaZeD is going to be. FaZe continue here. And that's going to be an 8th round for them on the defense.
I think just from watching how Corey is currently playing, how BABYBAY is currently playing, like you now see that potential that FaZe Clan saw when they picked up this roster. And it's like, man, you guys are starting to make me believe on the potential as well and how dominant they could be once you give them that time. And that 1 versus DaZeD wasn't easy there for Corey either. I mean, DaZeD, we didn't talk about him a lot, but on that previous map on Ascent, he was able to drop 200 ADR for the team. So he's been a very big aspect for T1 to try to get these entries, and you wouldn't want anybody else right now is to try to clutch that 1 versus 1. So Corey did a tremendous effort to win that. The wall bangs, of course, is continuous. That seems so it's such a confident playstyle from FaZe Clan is what I'm trying to get to, because he had 2 wall bangs from BABYBAY. And then you had wall bangs that came through from Corey to get a couple of kills as well on that pulse plant for FaZe's retake. So I just love what I'm seeing right now.
Rawkus. He's in the back hall as T1's gained site control. It's a 5-on-5.
Spike planted.
Despite the spike going down, it's full forces for both sides. Showstopper available for both. Corey uses his first, and DaZeD gets taken out in the corner. Corey very low on HP. Rawkus in the backside of sight from Spyder, but Rawkus is there. It's a back and forth, ping-ponging around, but now it's Rawkus all alone. And as he goes for the recon dart peek, brax is there with the punish. A 3rd round for T1.
Last round in the
An
hatch.
awkward one, but it counts.
Mm-hmm. And that's where you just wanted to change it right away, right? We've talked about it multiple times that it's the slow and steady race for T1. Just go for the explosion now towards that B site. Paid off in their favor. And now they really had the better angles, actually, to hold it back. Yes, of course, they lost 1 player from Corey's showstopper towards Hookah, but you still had good split out positionings towards the back of the site, where T1 just caught rotations that's very hard to take back, actually, on B site.
Get out of my way!
On a map like Bind. So a stack towards B is something common that we see. 3 players on the defense. And being able to open that up and not allow the rest of FaZe Clan to rotate from A was definitely well played for T1. So with this last round that they have, though, I think it's an op that I saw that was picked up by Skadoodle in that previous round. I don't know if it was left behind by BABYBAY, but with the style that FaZe has, maybe that could be the answer too. If you have BABYBAY try to push aggressively, try to find him with the operator, to use that long range against him. But if BABYBAY himself has an op, that's where it gets difficult. That said, though, they are trying to work back towards the A side. They do have the paranoia if they want to throw that into the lamps so they could try to push up towards the A site. They don't really have any other ultimates to try to get it in because they depleted on that previous round. While on the other end, though, for FaZe, they have their Hunter's Fury that they could play with Rawkus on a rotation from spawn side. There it comes.
Well, there's that ult coming out from Rawkus. Oh, he splits the middle of the 2 targets he tagged initially. Had a chance to find a couple of kills there. ZachaREEE, though, will be the first one to strike. Skadoodle with a nice spin back from the op, but it's all coming up FaZe as Marved gets the final one on the round. 9-3 is your halftime score.
Switching sides.
That's one of the worst halves we've seen from T1 in some time on this map. As we look at the closed qualifiers, again, we mentioned it, they never once lost the attacking half. So, disappointing to say the least. Now, I think I do know why. There is a deviation on the scoreboard, and in general, the results from what we expected. Typically, Twitch chat would be funneling their energy with copy pastas towards the teams and players of their choice. I'm not seeing any spam this blaze for FaZe. I definitely haven't seen one damn noodle for Skadoodle. I'm disappointed, Twitch chat. At least you had eggs earlier. Eggs were neutral. It's an egg. Got nothing now. I need to see something, Twitch chat. You're letting me down. 9-3. T1 desperately need to pick up this pistol round, or it's curtains for them. That said, they still qualify for the event, so it's not the end of the world, but they would love to have that higher seed.
And at this point, it just continues. Pushing forward is BABYBAY. He opens up B side, but you saw that double push teleporter.
Spike planted.
And now they just take control of Hookah back for the defender side. Camera is up, Spike is planted inside Tunican, but it's still T1 that has the upper hand in terms of manpower on this retake. Spyder the first to jump in and try to bait out the shots because he's low on HP. well, the HP doesn't matter when you're shooting like that. Back on the defuse, T1 stays alive, and, you know, the eggs you were talking about here, Bach, it was at a point where it's about to get boiled. Things were getting hot here for T1. They're trying to lower down that pressure so that it could come back into this game, and the pistol round that they had is a great way to start.
T1 trying to wake up. It's an early game. Trying to just, like, you know, get the sleepies out of their eyes.
How
shake
much more
off
a week
the
it could
early
be for
morning.
FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, FaZe, it seems like they never went to sleep. They've been awake the whole time. They've been pounding G Fuel all morning long to get themselves prepared for this, especially BABYBAY. I'm going to need that man's sensitivity, his resolution, his mouse pad, keyboard, diet, exercise routine,
code.
monitor. I need all of it. Desk. I need to know the square footage of his office. What direction does his PC face? Is that important? Maybe it is. Who knows?
That's Feng Shui.
FaZe.
That's super important.
Yeah. FaZe trying to get into hookah. They're going to have to fight with Brax, who's waiting around the corner, ready to be judge, jury, and executioner as they try to make their way through. ZachaREEE will actually be the first one to strike. There's the shotgun coming through. Brax is only going to get 2 as T1 is now at a player disadvantage. And the pistols are working out well for FaZe. This is disastrous for T1.
Yeah, it didn't look too well for FaZe to start, though, especially when it didn't clear the corner where Brax was at. They still get the advantage of moving into the site planning and having 3-on-2, but they have 2 players that are very low on HP. Thankfully, though, for T1, they don't have much utilities or weaponry to work with, and the one that had the weapon just died from the hands of Marved. Skadoodle only with the ghost, trying to tap away. BABYBAY was so low, just one little tap. But BABYBAY was able to get the kill with the Spectre, so we turn it around. We get an eco for FaZe onto T1. T1 back themselves, back against the wall, back where they have to go with pistols themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if you go for a force buy here.
They're a little bit slow if they're going to do it. I mean, you can see AZK's bought armor, but yeah, there's some expenditures coming out. Sheriffs, but no armor. And with Skadoodle having a little bit of money, they're actually going to fall back a little bit and try and stack that up for an off-buy later. We'll see if they can hit their shots here. They go for a triple push on short, and the boombot comes out, and Corey's just able to capitalize. That's 3 kills for Corey. A little bit of jiggle at the end there.
That's all I'm hearing and seeing there. Just da-da-da-da-da, and he just drive-bys 3 people.
The bot was the entry fragger. He was the follow-up. As the entry bot went down, he just cleans up. FaZe Clan make a quick round out of T1. Skadoodle does have the op. This is what we were talking about. But again, it's an attacking side op. BABYBAY also has the ult available, so I wouldn't be surprised to see BABYBAY try and charge somewhere with that Spectre and just fly in with the knives out.
I could see it. Blade Storm, try to go long range with the knives at the showers, and once he gets close enough, right clicks, or Spectre on mid-range.
I also think
it's going to be him versus Spyder.
I think I said misspoke and said attacking side off because of the colors on the scoreboard. That's my mistake.
Yeah.
For Skadoodle, he is on the defense. Don't want to confuse people any more than I'm already confused. But it's actually BABYBAY to pop that ult and fly into the site, trying to get into that B site, trying to push up aggressively.
Give me those back.
Catching one off guard, and it's Brax who gets diced apart through his cyber cage, so that digital wall can't slow down the knives. And it's a push that comes through successfully for FaZe. T1
Spike planted.
again, short-handed on the defense, and good lord. ZachaREEE is surgical with the Vandal. BABYBAY now wants the last kill on the round. Skadoodle says, well, at least I can try and prove who's the better. Jett in the 1v1, kinda. Ends up eyeing Marved. 12-4 FaZe Clan.
Match point.
Likely going to end things here as the buy coming through from T1 is going to be abysmal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was as confused as you with the scoreboard there, Buck. I had the idea that it was actually going to be the showers and long play from BABYBAY and from Brax, but it turned out to be Skadoodle and ZachaREEE, pretty much the same thing. But it was still the same result. You still had BABYBAY just being very aggressive towards the B side, and he gets the first kill onto Brax towards B instead. And you know, just continuing to hold W on their end is going to be the strong point for FaZe Clan. Showstopper to look down. T1's trying to fight back with whatever they can. It's Guardians, it's Judges, it's a good luck. Definitely a good luck at this point. And BABYBAY, they open up towards the site. You already have from the shadows at spawn. What is Brax looking at? His death. Headshotted now by Marv. Marv continue to push spawn. A second kill onto Spyder. So a 5 versus 2. We're looking to seal the deal at a 13-4.
It's down to just one more player. It's DaZeD, and he's trying to do what he can, but it's not going to be enough. FaZe Clan surprises us all with a big 2-0 win over top of T1. An impressive series from the side of FaZe. T1 disappointed, but again, both teams have already qualified for the NA regional event with Riot. So